Oak City Move is a podcast on WKNC's 88.1 FM HD1 Raleigh where we highlight people and organizations creating positive change in the Triangle and beyond. Oak City Move can be heard on air every other Monday on 88.1 FM HD1 Raleigh or online at wknc.org/listen. For episodes and more information, go to our blog at blog.wknc.org or follow us on SoundCloud at WKNC 881. Welcome back to Oak City Move. I am your host, Sophia Magnanini. The song you just heard was Sweaty Linen by Surf Ninja 3. I am here today with Tia Burmy, one of the student leaders of Create Your Own Community, CYC at NC State. So, yeah, if you wanted to just kind of tell us for those who may not know what CYC is all about.
Yeah, totally. So, Consult Your Community, we offer pro bono consulting services for primarily women and minority-owned businesses in the greater Raleigh area. So, we help not just with business problems, but any type of problem that they might have, especially because we have a very wide variety of majors represented at CYC. So, we've expanded to more technical engagements as well. But yeah, that's just a little brief overview.
No, I love that. What kind of like local business and nonprofits have you guys been like working with recently? Or like, can you kind of give us a overview of like what you guys do with a business once you?
Yeah, definitely. So, our bread and butter at CYC are semester-long engagements. So, we start out by scoping the break before this engagement or the semester starts, and then throughout the course of the semester, the client or the team rescopes with the client, and then they work to create deliverables that the client can use beyond the course of the engagement as well. But we've worked with clients and industries all across the board. Just off the top of my head, I think we have a clothing store, we've done a vendor management platform, a cocktail company, and a hair salon. But um, one I'm thinking about in specific is last semester we worked with She Thrifty, which was a vintage clothing store in downtown Raleigh. So our team did a social media guidebook, a website redesign, inventory management system, and a pitch deck for them.
That's awesome. That's really cool, especially the like different. It's so broad. Like the businesses that you just named are very different from one another. So it's
Yeah,
really cool
yeah.
that like no matter what kind of where you're at, you guys are still gonna be able to help them and like that's really cool.
Thanks. It's super fun that we have kind of that the knowledge, I guess, that we bring from the classroom and we're able to apply it in a real world scenario. So oftentimes the businesses are having the same core issues, but they know kind of what they're passionate about and how to follow that portion of things. So it's really cool to see their businesses develop for sure.
No, that's really cool. And when you guys are like giving consulting services, what kind of does that look like when you're helping them out? Like, is it just like you're helping them like budget and also like different stuff, or you could?
Oh, so basically, it looks like whatever they might specifically need. So we've done financial analysis before and stuff on that end of things. And typically, the businesses we work with are around the 2 year point since they've been created. Um, but it really just depends on whatever their pain points are. They usually bring us some overarching issue. And then during scoping, we ask a lot of questions and kind of whittle it down to what the core issue is. So we can either create guidebooks for them, implement new systems, just kind of whatever the case may be, it really varies from client to client.
No, that's really cool, especially like I was saying earlier, because yeah, I feel like you guys are very like multifaceted. Like you can help in many different ways which is really cool because like you were
Appreciate
saying,
that.
it's like when it comes to different businesses, they're gonna need different things, and which is really cool. I
Thanks.
wanted to ask what like kind of students get involved because I know you were saying earlier that now there's kind of a more um broad of majors, but like is it mostly business majors, political like
We do have a lot of business majors, so I would say like 40% of our students are business majors, but we're open to all majors. So we have, like I mentioned, business, comp sci is another big portion, other engineerings, but we also have like food science, we have some science students, so all across the board. I think the great thing about CYC is one, there's a lot of transferable skills you can learn, and two, there's a really great support system. So if you want to take on something that you haven't maybe learned in your major or in the classroom, we have tons of resources within the organization itself and also a mentorship program and things to just help you develop as well.
No, yeah, I love that because it's almost like an internship in the way where you guys are getting such hands on, like, you guys are really going out there actually, which is really cool and probably really good for the future. You guys just are gaining experience and like talk in many different ways. So that's awesome. And I
Thanks.
was
Yeah,
gonna say, oh no, you
Oh,
you
I
got
was just gonna say, I did end up using a lot of the skills I learned in CYC at internships I've done in the past. So, it's not something I realized when I first joined, but um, definitely prevalent.
no, yeah, because my next question kind of like leads into that. How has like participating in CYC kind of helped you prepare like for future careers or like community involvement?
Yeah, definitely. So, besides the couple things that I mentioned, the transferable skills and hands-on experience and all of that, we also have a ton of corporate and community partners. So, they participate in our all-member meetings or in our end of semester event, just in different facets of CYC. And then also, we have a ton of volunteering events and networking opportunities. So, our vice president of development sets those up and makes sure to really prioritize member development and kind of all the work that he does. And then we also have a strong alumni network. So CYC's been at NC State since 2016. So we've been doing our best actually in recent years to kind of compile the alumni and make them more involved. Or we send out a newsletter to them, and we have alumni advisors on our engagement. So just kind of bringing them into the process and giving them kind of a look at what we've been up to since they've graduated.
Yeah, that's because I didn't realize that. Yeah, you guys were created in 2016, which
Yeah,
saying that it feels like not too long ago, but now
I
I'm saying it's
know.
almost like 10 years when I'm like,
That's
but
so crazy.
no, right? But the fact that you guys, yeah, have built this over that like short a time span is really cool. And it also just shows, yeah, the community that you guys are building and just like the connections that you guys have, which is really, really cool. I wanted to ask, how do you kind of balance the CYC and being a student also yourself?
Yeah, so I feel like the balance in that is part of the support system that I mentioned, honestly. So you see people before you balancing it well and um, paving this path for you, I guess, in a way. And they've left us with a ton of resources, a ton of mentorship. Like the people who I guess got me into CYC and taught me how to do all of this stuff, like they were people I used to look up to when I was a freshman and they were seniors. And so it's like it just the cycle kind of continues in that way. On one end of things. And we have, even in just terms of deliverables, we have so many deliverables in our Google Drive. So if you don't know how to do something, someone else probably has done it. There's tons of resources at a national level as well. CYC has tons of chapters across the nation, and it started in Berkeley in 2013. So if we need more information, there's always that as well. And our alumni advisors are a great way for us to make sure what we're leaving our clients with is something they can use in the future and up to industry standard and just um, presenting CYC in a professional light. So that helps on that side of things. And we built great connections throughout the last couple of years with the city of Raleigh, other community partners. So um, that makes it a little bit easier as well when you see other people in the same space and kind of how they operate.
Yeah, I could imagine. I wasn't aware that, yeah, there were multiple different chapters kind of around, which I feel like that's also really cool that, like, you're all helping one another, like, even if you're not in the same state
Yeah,
or like, because I feel like that's not kind of really common, like, especially for like different clubs,
definitely.
which I love that. And also just kind of adds to the sense of like community and like helping one
Yes,
another out, which is very on brand.
it
But,
definitely is very nice to know you have that.
mm, Um, I was gonna ask because yeah, while we're talking about like collaborations, have you guys collaborated or like do you collaborate with any other like NC State clubs or like local nonprofits or city programs?
Yeah, so we definitely want to get into collaborating more with NC State clubs. We were talking about that with leadership or in our last leadership council meeting, but or sorry, PRT meeting. But we do collaborate a ton with other community partners and nonprofits. So, like I mentioned, the city of Raleigh, we're taking them on as another engagement this semester. their small business development group supports hundreds of small businesses in the greater Raleigh area. So we've worked with them in that capacity. They supported us in our small business fair, which I'll definitely tell you more about in just a sec. But also other small business support networks in the city. And then we're having other events for small business fair, for example, a preview night next week, which is held at Crank Arm Brewery. So other venues across Raleigh and definitely community partners is where we've put most of our efforts in the past and have really built out a thorough network there.
That's really great though. Like the I feel like community is definitely going to be a word spoken a lot during
Yeah.
this, but it really is because the sense of community and just like helping one another. And it's really great to hear that, like, yeah, you guys are also getting working with other people, getting these other
Yeah.
helps, and like, but that's really awesome. And also, um, my next question, which probably leads into the career fair, yeah, I was what are like some goals or upcoming projects or that you guys have already done also that
Yeah.
you're kind of excited about?
Definitely. So I know I mentioned earlier that our bread and butter are those semester-long engagements. But outside of that, we do have a couple other avenues that we support the small business community in Raleigh. So one is consultation. So small businesses can sign up for consultation if they have a one-off issue, maybe not enough for a semester-long engagement. And we'll do the same kind of process in a shorter scale. So me or our vice president of growth, we will look at kind of the issue that they presented us with, create a deliverable, the end-to-end whole process. We also have small business seminars, so that's once a month. We either partner with someone in the community. So, for example, last week, City of Raleigh was presenting, or this last month and this month, Hub NC State will be presenting. So, um, that's just an opportunity for business owners to come in and learn about whatever business topic in a more collaborative space. We make it very interactive and just another kind of add-on we do. But our biggest goal for the upcoming year is small business fair. So that'll be held on April 9th of the upcoming year. And we've already started planning and fundraising and doing all of the things for it. It's entirely community fundraised and free for vendors to participate. So it's a way for us to bring in the small business community to NC State's campus, help them open up into a new market with no barrier to entry, and just kind of connect the NC State students with the greater Raleigh population. But we're having a couple events next week. So we're having our preview night, like I mentioned, which is more so for the business owners and sponsors. But if you all would like to support Small Business Fair, we're having a house show on November 8th. So the show will start at 8, and then we're having a fun run on November 9th at 9:30 in the morning, which will start at the bell tower.
I love that back to back.
I
I
know.
mean, but you got to show up for your community. You got to show up for the small
Yes, you got
businesses.
to. Exactly. So we're trying to make it a little bit more collaborative on the fundraising side this year as well. Just tapping into a bunch of different groups of people. And I personally love a house show, so you guys should come out and bring your friends.
No, I love that. Cause yeah, I feel like also that those are two like you don't really see those that much with like
Yeah.
so I feel like that's a really fun, also a really amazing way to yeah, get the community out there and just to get people involved, which is really, really cool.
We're
How
super excited.
no, also cuz yeah, this is going to come out this Monday. So yeah,
Oh, perfect.
listeners, go to the house
It's
show,
not
go to
too
the fun run.
late. It's
Yeah,
Saturday and Sunday.
exactly. Like you got time to plan. But how has planning like the what's kind of like the process of planning or is it kind of like I know you're saying cuz the small business fair is in April and you guys are already kind of like going.
Yeah. It's been good. Our Vice President of Growth, Navia, is at the head of all of that, as well as our small business fair team. So we have sub teams within CYC. We have recruitment, impact, and small business fair, and they have been kind of split into groups. So we have like fundraising, partnerships, marketing, like all sorts of things. And we're working on the initial stages of the planning. And it's helpful because we've had a couple small business fairs in the past already at this point. So we don't have to start from scratch. So that's really awesome. And it's great to kind of just see people take their own initiative on things. And we're having small business fair merch for our students and switching up our setup and all these things. But it's just a really cool experience for everyone involved. I think this is something that you would only get to experience here. And planning an event at such a large scale is really just it's really cool and fun to collaborate with other CYC members.
Yeah, I can imagine kind of the this not satisfaction, but yeah, just once it's all complete and you can be like,
Yeah,
you helped make this, like you did this.
exactly. I'm so excited.
And it's also, I love that it's free for vendors to
Yes,
sign up, which makes it probably so much more accessible for so many small businesses. Because I feel like,
exactly.
yeah, especially in this time and age where there's so many of like the giant corporations where it's like Amazon, that stuff, the small
Yeah,
businesses need, no matter what they are, like
yeah.
need the support. And so it's amazing what you guys are doing.
Thank you. Yeah, I
Mm.
feel like it's kind of more prevalent now than ever. So we're really trying to kind of step into other aspects of ways to make this happen and ways to just amplify the impact we have for the businesses.
No, I love that. And you guys most definitely are. Um,
Thanks.
but this kind of leads into my next question. How are you guys kind of hoping to expand or evolve the impact within the community in future years?
Yeah, definitely. So I mentioned a little bit, but we're looking to expand the impact that our small business fair has on each of the vendors. So whether that be monetarily or the amount of vendors that we can support, and continuing to build partnerships at NC State and then also with the small business support networks in Raleigh. There's a really big ecosystem, and I think the more we learn about other organizations and are able to kind of point people in the right direction, um, or collaborate most effectively would be just better for everyone involved. So definitely looking to do more of that in this upcoming year.
No, that's awesome. Because, yeah, I feel like the reach, as you guys kind of go on, you're going to get more and more and more, which is just amazing. Awesome. And as we kind of come up on the end of our chat, if a local business owner or student listening wants to get involved, what are the best ways to get involved with CYC or to reach out?
Yeah, so for anyone, our email is ncstate@consultyourcommunity.org. That's a great place to reach us at any point with any ask. Business owners, we have a rolling application on our website if you'd like to be a client, or the link to sign up for a consultation, as well as past seminars, all on our website. But again, which is CYC NC State. Um, but if you do have any additional questions, feel free to reach out to the email at any point. And for students looking to get involved, our application opens on the first day of each semester. So we would love to have you apply.
Perfect. That's awesome. No, thank you so much. And also, I just wanted to thank you so much for coming in and talking with me and giving us all this information about CYC because it really is, I feel, not underrated, but it's something that needs to be more known. And because I feel like you guys are helping so much in the Raleigh community and outside also. So it's really good that you guys are being noticed and appreciated. Thank you guys so much for listening to my chat with Tia. Coming up next is a little segment from Evie, our very beautiful, very special Evie, where it kind of leads into the community and small business part. And you guys are about to hear a clip of her interviewing a business at the fair and just people at the fair also. So I hope you guys enjoy this, but do not forget you're listening to Oak City Move on WKNC 88.1. And yeah, episodes will come out every Monday or every other Monday, but hope you guys have a great day.
I'm Evie Dolman with WKNC at NC State's Radio.
I'm Kaleb Rathbone, Assistant Commissioner for Western North Carolina, so down here helping out this week.
Do you see any trends or things looking out in the future with Raleigh's urban development and like maintaining the importance of agriculture and maybe the state's fair's involvement in that and place in that?
Sure. So a big part of the state fair is to spread awareness of the industry and its importance to North Carolina. North Carolina is a rapidly growing state. So with that population growth, we also see a big loss in farmland as development takes place. So over the next the projections are by 2040 we're looking at losing another over 1 million acres of farmland across the state. And so as we become more developed as a state, that awareness of the importance of agriculture is going to be critical to make sure that we're able to maintain policy so that our farmers can keep farming.
Yeah. I'm curious, someone in here was talking earlier about like smaller farms, family farms, minority-based farms, knowing about kind of the governmental support, such as tax breaks and whatnot.
Sure.
So I'm curious about this part of the agricultural education in supporting the farmer fiscally and also with education, possibly spanning into the urban sphere so that agriculture can become more accessible and also get people interested.
So, we are a state made up of small farms. So the vast majority of farms are small family-owned operations. In the department, we actually have a division that's focused solely on small and minority farmers, making sure that they have access to the programs that are available to them, whether they're federal programs, state, or grant opportunities. And so our small farms division does a lot of work with that. We also work very closely with NC State Extension and other groups to make sure that if programs are available, those who are eligible to participate are aware of it and know how to apply and take advantage of those programs.
Yeah, I think also in that vein of like NC State's agricultural extension program, I guess like maybe do you want to talk on like this importance of kind of making tangible agriculture, so like workshops, demos, education like you're saying for this next generation. Like I said, there's a guy in here talking earlier about, most people are 3 to 4 generations removed from a farm. So I guess in the coming years, like how might that change and how might you be inspired by the state fair to propel these kind of movements of agriculture back into people's lives?
Sure. So North Carolina has, I'm going to say they have the best extension service in the nation. Maybe a little biased, but I think it can be backed up with numbers. So we have the extension service has offices in all 100 counties, plus an office for the eastern band of the Cherokee in western North Carolina. So NC State staff and faculty in every county, accessible and available to farmers to be able to ask questions, and they really are the front line of making sure that farmers have access to the latest information that's developed on our research stations, or partnering with companies who are doing research to make sure that it is accessible. So those programs are very important at the farm level, but also the youth programs through 4-H, FFA, and like the livestock shows here at the fair. Extension's very involved. And like the livestock shows, the competitive entries at the fairs, historically and still reigns true today, it's a great way for youth to be able to get involved in the industry, understand what it takes to actually raise animals for food or crops that they may enter in the fair. It's also a good way to train work ethic and experience. It's not easy producing the food that we all need on a daily basis. So it gives them a first-hand experience of being able to raise animals.
Yeah, wow. I really like that idea of like you have to see it to know, and then that kind of also can help in sustainability, like divert maybe food waste if you're kind of more aware of like everything that goes into that. Weston and I were going to talk about kind of like livestock care in particular, like largely farming, but livestock particularly as it relates to community ethics and like morale. And I'm curious like if that like inspires anything in you and like what that means to take care of animals, live with them, and kind of produce a community ethic about valuing other lives while simultaneously still supporting our communities sustainably.
Sure. So I grew up raising livestock and showing animals at fairs. My kids have been involved, and so I've experienced and seen firsthand how, it's one thing to read about food production in a textbook or watch a video on it on YouTube, but to actually experience it, form a bond with those animals, and see what it actually takes to bring them from birth all the way through production. I think it's an important part of developing that appreciation for where food comes from. It gives you a different perspective on waste. Also allows youth to see how what could be waste products in the food production cycle can actually be upcycled through different feed sources for the animals, and being able to have that sustainability in the entire production chain. And another really fascinating piece, I mean, so historically, the entire reason that state fairs began was for farmers to bring their best animals, their best crops together, to be able to share with their neighbors, to be able to see the improvements. And it's through those improvements that we actually have a more productive and efficient food production system. And so each year you bring your best through breeding and different husbandry practices, and it actually does improve the efficiency of food production year over year. And so it's a tradition that we're proud to continue.
Yeah, that's a beautiful line. I guess in this way, would you see the fairs as kind of like a skill sharing grounds originally, and hypothetically, hopefully in the future as well?
Absolutely, yeah. And so there's a great speech that Abraham Lincoln actually gave. I think it was at the Wisconsin State Fair, where he talked about the importance of bringing your best to demonstrate and showing progress, and creating two where there was originally one. So, you know, that was true in the 1850s, and it's still true today. So I don't know that we're fortunate to be in a business where we will never have the luxury to stop improving how we produce food.